Welcome back to English Every Day. My name is Anna, and today I am going to tell you a very special story in English. This story will help you practice listening, vocabulary, and speaking skills while enjoying an exciting adventure. Remember to stay until the end, because we will review important words and phrases, answer comprehension questions, and practice shadowing together. So, let's begin our story. Once upon a time, in a quiet coastal village, there lived a curious young woman named Clara. She was known for her adventurous spirit and her endless desire to explore the unknown. Clara often spent her days by the shore, collecting seashells, reading about faraway places, and listening to the stories of old sailors who passed through the village. One afternoon, while exploring the attic of her late grandfather's house, Clara discovered a small wooden box. Inside the box was a strange, golden compass. But this compass was unlike any other. The needle did not point north, it spun mysteriously, as if trying to guide her somewhere hidden. Alongside the compass, there was a faded map, showing a path that led deep into the ocean. Clara felt her heart race. She remembered her grandfather once telling her a legend about the compass of truth, a magical object said to reveal hidden islands full of secrets and treasures. Determined to uncover the mystery, Clara packed her backpack with food, water, and a notebook. She borrowed a small boat from a friendly fisherman and set sail at dawn. The sea was calm, but the compass spun wildly, finally settling in one direction. Clara followed it, trusting its strange magic. Hours passed, and suddenly, thick fog surrounded her. Out of the mist, a hidden island appeared. The island was lush, full of enormous trees, colorful birds, and strange plants glowing faintly in the shadows. Clara could hardly believe her eyes. As she stepped onto the island, she noticed something carved into a stone near the shore. Follow the heart of the island, and the truth will be revealed. She began her journey inland, guided once more by the compass. She climbed hills, crossed rivers, and walked through forests filled with the sounds of exotic animals. Finally, the compass led her to a clearing where a great stone statue stood. The statue was shaped like a guardian with wings and a sword, and at its base there was an opening, like a hidden door. Clara hesitated for a moment, but curiosity overcame fear. She stepped inside. The passage was dark and cold, but soon it opened into a cavern filled with light from crystals glowing on the walls. In the center of the cavern, there was a pedestal. On the pedestal lay a book bound in leather, covered in golden symbols. Clara opened the book, and to her surprise, it was written in a language she somehow understood. The book revealed the truth. The compass was not just a tool to find treasure, it was meant to guide seekers of knowledge and wisdom. It would always lead its owner to places where they could discover something important about themselves and the world. Clara realized that the real treasure was not gold or jewels, but understanding, courage, and the ability to see beyond the ordinary. She left the cavern with a new sense of purpose, carrying the compass as a reminder of her journey. When she returned to her village, Clara shared her story, inspiring others to search for their own hidden islands of truth. And from that day on, the lost compass was no longer lost. It was exactly where it was meant to be, with her. And that is the end of our story. Comprehension questions. Who was Clara, and where did she live? What did Clara find in her grandfather's attic? How was the compass different from a normal one? What appeared out of the fog? What did Clara find inside the cavern? What was the true treasure revealed at the end of the story? Vocabulary and useful phrases. Compass, a tool that shows direction. For example, he checked the compass to make sure he was heading north. Attic, the space or room at the top of a house, under the roof. For example, she found old letters in the dusty attic. Fog, a thick cloud of tiny water drops near the ground or sea that makes it hard to see. For example, the boat moved slowly because of the dense fog. Cavern, a large cave, often mysterious. For example, explorers entered a deep cavern filled with stalactites. Pedestal, a base or support for a statue or important object. For example, the ancient vase was placed on a stone pedestal. Faded map, a map whose colors or lines are old and not clear anymore. For example, he unfolded the faded map to find the secret location. To reveal, to make something known or visible. For example, the magician revealed the hidden object from the box. To overcome fear, to defeat or control fear. For example, she had to overcome fear before jumping into the river. Her heart raced, she felt very excited or nervous. For example, her heart raced as she opened the mysterious door. Out of the mist, something suddenly appears from fog. For example, a ship appeared out of the mist early in the morning. To step onto the island, to arrive on the land of the island. For example, the adventurers were eager to step onto the island. Guided by the compass shows the way. For example, he was guided by the compass through the dense forest. A new sense of purpose, a new motivation or reason for life. For example, finding the treasure gave him a new sense of purpose. Treasure chest, a box used to hold valuable items such as gold or jewels. For example, the pirates opened the treasure chest and found gold coins. Ancient scroll, a rolled-up piece of paper or parchment with old writing. For example, The explorer unrolled the ancient scroll to read the message. Mystery, something that is difficult to understand or explain. For example, the forest was full of mystery and hidden paths. Explorer, a person who travels to discover new places or knowledge. For example, the explorers sailed across the ocean to unknown lands. To uncover, to find or reveal something that was hidden. For example, they uncovered a secret passage behind the waterfall. Glowing, shining softly with light. For example, the compass was glowing faintly in the dark cave. Journey, a long trip or adventure. For example, their journey through the jungle was full of surprises. Courage, the ability to face fear or challenges with bravery. For example, it took courage to enter the dark cave alone. Discovery, the act of finding something new or unknown. For example, their discovery of the hidden library amazed everyone. Secret passage, a hidden way that leads somewhere. For example, they found a secret passage behind the old bookshelf. Ancient ruins, old, destroyed buildings or structures. For example, the adventurers explored the ancient ruins in the jungle. To solve a mystery, to find the answer to a puzzling situation. For example, she tried to solve the mystery of the disappearing treasure. Map symbols, marks or icons on a map that represent important places or information. For example, the map symbols showed where the treasure was hidden. To trust your instincts, to believe in your own judgment or feelings. For example, he trusted his instincts and followed the glowing compass. Hidden treasure, valuable items that are kept secret or buried. For example, the pirates buried their hidden treasure on the island. To follow a clue, to investigate or act according to a hint or piece of information. For example, they followed a clue that led them to the old tree. Ancient artifact, an old object made by humans, often with historical importance. For example, the archaeologist discovered an ancient artifact in the cave. Mysterious glow, a soft light coming from an unknown source. For example, the mysterious glow guided them deeper into the cavern. To face danger, to confront a risky or dangerous situation. For example, they had to face danger when crossing the narrow bridge. Hidden path, a trail that is not obvious and is hard to find. For example, the adventurers found a hidden path leading to the waterfall. To protect a secret, to keep something hidden or confidential. For example, they promised to protect the secret of the lost compass. Treasure map, a map that shows the location of hidden treasure. For example, the treasure map led them to a secret island. Ancient legend, a story from the past that has been passed down over generations. For example, The island was full of ancient legends about pirates and treasures. Shadowing practice. Listen and repeat after me. Try to copy my rhythm and intonation. Clara discovered a golden compass in her grandfather's attic. The compass did not point north, it guided her to a hidden island. She stepped onto the island and saw a message carved in stone. Inside the cavern, she found a glowing book full of wisdom. The real treasure was not gold, but knowledge and courage. She returned home, ready to inspire others with her story. The fog was thick, but the compass showed her the way. She walked through the forest, listening to exotic animals. The pedestal held a book, covered in golden symbols. Clara realized the compass was meant to guide seekers of truth. She carried the compass as a reminder of her journey. The island disappeared, but the lesson remained in her heart. Once upon a time, in a quiet coastal village, there lived a curious young woman named Clara. She was known for her adventurous spirit and her endless desire to explore the unknown. Finally, the compass led her to a clearing where a great stone statue stood. The book revealed the truth. The compass was not just a tool to find treasure, it was meant to guide seekers of knowledge and wisdom. Clara shared her story, inspiring others to search for their own hidden islands of truth. Thank you for listening to this story. Remember, every story is not only for entertainment, but also for learning. Practice the vocabulary, answer the comprehension questions, and repeat the shadowing sentences to improve your English. The more you practice, the more confident you will become. I hope you enjoyed today's adventure, and I will see you again in the next video.